Okay, let's start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hamdan wa syukran lillah, salatan wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalah. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu la nabiyya ba'dah. Qala Allah ta'ala fil Qur'anil Karim, a'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Faman ya'mal mithqala dzarratin khairan yarah wa man ya'mal mithqala dzarratin syarran yarah. Waqala Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, thalabul ilmi faridatan ala kulli muslimin. Before we start, I'm gonna ask to you, all of you, to pray friends next to you. For instance, Bu Sheryl is next to me, right? And then BMTAU and Nur Atiatul and Tarlina Dewi. Ya, jadi saya mau mengajak teman-teman untuk berdoa, mendoakan teman di sebelahnya ya. Di sebelah saya ada Bu Sheryl, kemudian ada BMTAU, kemudian di sebelahnya lagi ada Nur Atiatul. Benar ya? It is correct?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Let's pray for your friends. Pray begin. Finish. Thank you. Okay, good morning everyone. Good morning, beloved of my friends. It's my pleasure to welcome to you for this webinar, Learning Today, Leading Tomorrow. First, let me to introduce myself. My name is Firdaus Fadila. You can call me with my Western name, Fado. And I'm a sophomore student. I'm majoring in business. And as a moderator, I'm gonna lead this discussion for 1 hour ahead. Okay, I'm gonna greet to our amazing speaker. There Ibu Sheryl and Pak Rob. Hello, Bu Sheryl, Pak Rob.
Hello.
Hello.
Very nice to see you again.
Glad to see you. And also our genius architects, James. Hello, James.
Halo.
Okay, you on the way. So take care, James. And the last but not least, Mbak Natalia Teguh Putri, future CEO. Halo, Mbak Natalia.
Hello, Fadil. Hello, everyone. Good to see you here.
Okay, before we go to next session, there are opening speech from UFC, Kak Yofrina, BMTAU, Reski, and also English Club Syakban. Start from Kak Yofrina, please, Kak Yofrina.
Thank you, Fadil. Well, good morning, dear friends. So if you can turn your camera on, it will be nice to see your handsome and beautiful faces. So kalau bisa kameranya nyala, mohon teman-teman dinyalakan biar kita bisa saling tatap muka di sini ya. Okay, so on behalf of Initiatives of Change Indonesia, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our third webinar in collaboration with Tandri Abeng University. We are so excited to have you all here. Well, dear friends, in our first webinar, we learned about the value of seeking wisdom through inner reflection and of having unconditional moral values of honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love. Di webinar yang pertama, kita belajar tentang refleksi diri dan bagaimana mengaplikasikan nilai kejujuran, kemurnian, ketidakegoisan, dan juga cinta kasih dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. While in our second webinar, we discussed about building a better relationship, bagaimana kita membangun hubungan yang lebih baik dengan orang-orang di sekitar kita. And today we will continue our discussion about relationship and learn about leadership. Learning today, leading tomorrow. Dan kedua topik ini sangat berhubungan di mana seorang pemimpin sebaiknya dapat membangun hubungan yang lebih baik dengan berbagai kalangan. And I believe that everyone is a leader because leadership is about action, not a position. Well, friends, we will listen and we will learn from our dear friends Rob Wood, Cheryl Wood, our brother James, and our sister Natalie today. And let us use this opportunity to learn from our friends' life experiences. And we will also get a space to share our own stories in today's session. Selain mendengarkan sharing dari para pembicara hari ini, kita juga akan diberikan ruang untuk berbagi cerita. Barangkali ada yang ingin berbagi tentang tantangan yang dihadapi ketika menjadi seorang pemimpin. Pada kesempatan ini, saya juga ingin mengajak teman-teman untuk mengikuti kegiatan IFC lainnya seperti Sekolah Rekonsiliasi, Trust Building, dan juga Monthly Gathering. Teman-teman silakan follow media sosial IFC @ifc.indonesia untuk info lebih lanjut. Dan di akhir acara ini silakan share juga pembelajaran dari webinar ini melalui media sosial dan mention @ifc.indonesia. So let's spread positivity on social media. Well, dear friends, let me end with a quote saying, "The quality of a leader is reflected in the standards they set for themselves. May we set the value of honesty, purity, unselfishness, and love in living our lives as a leader and keep learning day by day because leaders are lifelong learners." Enjoy the webinar. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you so much, Kak Yofrina. And then opening speech from Vice President Student Executive Board, Reski. Please welcome Reski.
Yes, hello guys, hello everyone. So thank you for the opportunity. So if we talk about leader, one thing that I could say first. So I'm really proud about you guys that already here. That means you guys have a quality of a future leader, not just a leader, but a wise leader in the future. If we talk about leader is a figure who is respected by many people. That's why a leader must be able to give a good example for everyone. Be wise in making decision and be able to respect others. The leader is different from the boss. The boss always gives orders, and a leader always invites and motivates because the leader always sees the process and the boss sees the result. So my message for all of you here is I hope you guys in the future will be a leader that will be wise in making decision and will be respected by many people and respected to each other. So that's all I can say. I hope webinar on this time will be great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Wapres. Leader different with boss, ya. Leader is encourage and motivate to better circumstance, and the boss is just giving a task. Okay, and then representative of English Club TAU, Syakban. Please welcome, Syakban.
Okay, can you hear my voice?
Yeah, sure, clear.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm chairman in Islamic Youth Open and representative in English Club. So I think leadership refers to some efforts to drive the people voluntarily doing things together to reach the goals by meaningful ways. So as it said, anyone can fill the shift, but it takes a leader to charge the cause. Why do leaders need to be trustworthy, respect, responsibility, fair, caring, and citizenship? So the most important characteristic for a leader process is honesty. If some cannot show others that they are trustworthy in both words and action, they will not have followers. In fact, most of us recognize the consistency is important in leadership. And now, brothers and sisters, yeah. yes, sister, well, it's easier to stay then. So it is because it will take strenuous effort involved. We will prepare our to level consistent. Finally, it's comes to end of the speech. Let us learn from what happened today. Let us learn from our mistakes, and let us be better to stronger tomorrow. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Syakban. Okay, the next session is brief introduction and greeting by our speaker. As the saying goes, tak kenal maka tak sayang. It's mean you must to knowing something first before you can love it better. So now it's time. Let's start with Pak Rob.
Thanks very much for your warm welcome. It's very nice to have a warm welcome because where we're living, it's very cold. It's winter. And we are wrapped in a blanket today so that we can stay warm. I'll show you our blanket, yeah. Anyway, we're very glad to be back in Indonesia. I always think it's great to be able to travel without any cost. And wonderful to be able to share this morning's webinar with all of you. We hope we can learn a lot, and maybe we can also share a bit from our experience. It's a very important topic, leadership, and I believe we can all be leaders. We can all give something to others and take a lead in that way. So thank you very much for welcoming us, and we look forward to this morning.
Thank you, Pak Rob and Bu Sheryl. And the next introduction from James. Please, James.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I hope you can hear me. Yes, I really feel like, actually, I really echo what Reski just said, that, you know, leadership is a lot more than just being the boss. And it's about, you know, stepping up and taking that example and basically setting the standards and following it and being that influence for others to follow after you. And so, yeah, really looking forward to talking more about that and reflecting on how that looks like practically in the workplace for me. Thank you.
Thank you, James. And anyway, driving carefully, James. And last, Mbak Natalia.
Hi everyone, my name is Natalia Teguh Putri. I come from Makassar, actually, from Indonesia, but I am living and working now in Melbourne. So I share the blanket that Rob mentioned before. It's really cold in here, but I'm wearing my batik. For me, leader is a learner and learner is leader. So today, I know that you're all learning together, your students at TAU, and I know that you are all leaders, and that's why I'm very excited to be here to share stories with you, to listen to your stories and learn from each other. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And then we move to relationship map review by Ibu Sheryl. Relationship map is mapping that representative your relationship with other. It's with God or with your friend and your family and etc. Relationship map will convey by Bu Sheryl. Please, Bu Sheryl, to convey.
Thank you, Fado. I think some people may not have been in our last webinar, so I will just very briefly go through what a relationship map is. Tree types, not that one. That's it. That's it. So to make a relationship map, you have a circle in the middle, and it's me. And around the circle, you write the names of the people who are important in your life. And so you can see with mine, I wrote my relationship with God is very important. And then I had my family, and I have my husband, Rob, and then friends, colleagues, and neighbors. So you might have 3 friends who are very important in your life. So you could put friend 1, friend 2, friend 3, or you could put their names. And then you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a table. So there are 2 straight lines to show that this relationship is strong. So my relationship with Rob has 2 straight lines. It's strong. Then you might have 2 wobbly lines, and that's weak. And you can see one of my relationships with a colleague is weak, and it's got 2 wobbly lines. But then if you look closely, you'll see there's 1 straight line. So that the relationship that I had with that colleague, which was weak, has become a bit strong. We had a time together, and we were very honest with each other with as much love as we could. And it was a very clearing conversation, and we began a good relationship. But then the third, so that was like a repaired relationship. And the last relationship, you can see the 2 lines are wobbly, sometimes weak. And you can see with my relationship with my mother, when I was little, it was strong. Through my teenage years and my 20s, sometimes it was wobbly, but towards the end of her life, it was strong, which I am very grateful for. So in our last webinar, we each made our own map. And at the end of the webinar, we asked people if they would go away and think about one relationship that might need some change. So I wondered if there's anybody here today who would like to share any change they made in a relationship after our last webinar. Thank you. Is there anybody who might like to share?
Baik, jadi tadi itu relationship map yang menggambarkan dari Ibu Rob ya. Jadi tadi yang seperti kita lihat, kalau dengan Pak Rob itu garis lurus, artinya sangat baik hubungannya. Nah teman-teman, ada yang mau share bagaimana hubungan teman-teman dengan keluarga, dengan teman, dan dengan Tuhan ya? Boleh, silakan, ada yang ingin di-share?
Maybe me.
Sure.
Thank you, Raisa.
Okay, my name is Rashid Mustafa Islami. I live in Tangerang Regency. I am the first child of 2 brothers. My sister's name is Cantika, and I often joke with my sister. I often go to jail helping my sister in her school lesson. And sometimes I scold my sister when she annoyed me. And I'm also close to my mother because my mother always and often tells me about anything. For example, I have to study often so I can be smart and to work will be good. Secondly, it's about sharing with others so that the family will be built later. If I'm honest, not too close to my father. Why? Because my father was too overbearing, a little bit angry, and his son, and when he didn't move for a minute, he told him to immediately injure his son. So that's why I was closer to my mother and my sister. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. I think for all of us, we have challenges, and when we dare to share, it gives other people courage to also take steps. Thank you, Raisa.
You're welcome.
Indira, any share? You want to share?
Yeah. Hi, good morning to
Morning.
everyone. My name is Indira. I'm from Tandrabang University. And right now I'm studying at Corporate Communication Studies, Batch 9. I'm a freshman, soon to be sophomore, I guess. And this is is it clear enough? No?
Yeah,
A little bit closer.
Is it?
that's good.
But
Is
it's
it clear enough?
Yes.
Yeah,
very
Okay, that's my previous work. That's my previous work in a previous webinar. And I think something changing here recently after several months, especially to my friends in high school. At first, it was very weak. It's really not only wobbly, it's just really, we don't have any good relationship when I was in high school. But then finally, as long as we're getting older, we finally understand that having too much pressure on something in a relationship is not good for ourselves, right? So I try to make that clear enough. And I think uh, it's good since, recalling our memories, that's great. And second thing that changed is my relationship between God. At first, it's repaired, and finally, it's getting wobbly again. But then finally, I found my relationship is getting better and better right now to God. That's good. And my relationship between my friend in college, it's repaired and it's getting better and better since I found my best friend in here. It's also in this webinar. Her name is Vaida. She's my really good friend in here, and getting me develop to be a better person in this school. I think that's all for my sharing today.
Thank you very much, Indra. I think when we reach out to our friends and build better relationships, we find more peace in our heart, and especially if we take time for our relationship with God. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank
Thanks so much.
you.
Mm.
Anyone else maybe gonna share?
Me?
Okay, I will.
Okay. First of all, my name is Auliandra Tia Putri. I'm from Tandrabang University. Currently, I am studying.
Owl, can you speak louder? Speak louder.
How about now, sir?
A
That's
little bit
better.
better. Yeah.
That's better.
Okay. Right now, I'm currently studying business administration in Dan Trembing University, and this is my relationship maps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
So I have a very strong connection with my mom because we often telling each other stories, and I have a really strong connection too with my sisters, uh, my little sisters, and be, even so, we often sometimes still arguing because that's the essence of being sister, right? And then I have a little bit wobbly relationship with my father because um, he is a really uh, a little bit hard to approach, and we don't have many topics to talk about with each other. And I have a repaired uh, connection with my friends, my high school friends, and some of my college friends too. Maybe because of this pandemic that we haven't seen each other in a while. And I have a strong connection with my best friends because we often sharing about lives on calls and sometimes on video calls and maybe yeah, sometimes, but many times I mean. And lastly, I have a repaired relationship with God because yeah, I'm trying to be a good person, like trying to be more useful than before, and yeah, have faith in God. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alia. I hand
thank
it back to you, Fadi. I think our time's up, isn't it?
Who wants to share?
Oh, sorry. Did you want to share?
I think that's all. Thank you.
Maybe that's it, Bu Cheryl. And we're gonna to deep talking about this relationship to we breakout room in breakout room. The breakout room is consists by 5 to 6 persons, and each group will be a facilitator. So we're going to talk about these relationships more in there. Ari, please make a breakout room.
Okay.
The idea of making things right. Quite a trendy hair.
Try to keep going on a bit. wondering.
Okay, guys, please join to the breakout room. Ari yang di-invite yang Firdaus, Rik.
Yuk, sisanya move ke ruangan yang lain.
Hello. All right, we've been talk about relationship map deeply in breakout room. Hopefully, it's resolve your problem with your relationship. Next, yeah, we going to talk about leadership issue with Pak Rob. We talk about how to be leader, how category is good leader, and what we learn about leadership. Please, Pak Rob, to give a preaching.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fadil. Yeah, it's a very big topic, leadership. What is leadership? I think, you know, when we look at the world, we may think of one or two really good leaders, past or present. Who do you think about when you think about great global leaders, world leaders? Who do you think about? Give me some ideas. Oh, nobody has any ideas?
Obama, what a good suggestion.
Yeah, Obama, yes, I agree with that. Very true.
Anybody else? You can put it in the chat box or speak it.
Maybe our President Jokowi.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, definitely. Yeah. That's good. Who else? We need one, at least
Rob
one or
Wood.
two more.
Who did you say?
Rob Wood.
Oh.
I'm not sure. I'll have a think about that. All right. There you are. Who else on the world stage?
James said Gandhi.
Yes.
Gandhi, yes.
What about Bishop Tutu in Africa?
Yep. Anybody else? All right. So what about Indonesia? Who are the people that, you know, you think about in your country and you respect because of who they are and what they do? Bah Habibie. Yes. Okay.
Good one.
Very good. Tanri Abeng. Okay. Tell me a little bit about him. Who is Tanri Abeng? Excuse my lack of knowledge.
He is the current rector of TU University, the owner and the rector.
Ah.
Great. I'd like to meet him.
Sure.
Yeah. Basuki Tajaya Purnama. This is from India.
Former governor of
is ex-governor from Jakarta.
Ex-governor, okay, from Jakarta. Yeah, that's great.
There was another one.
Anybody else?
Yes, there was another one. Ahok.
Ahok.
It's the same person.
Oh, it's the same person.
Okay.
Sorry, we're ignorant.
Here's Karno. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? All right. Well, what do you admire in these people? Why do you like them? You made some good selections, but why? What do you like about them? I mean,
because their life story and then how they lead their people.
Yes, their life stories and how they live. Yeah, yeah, that's very good.
That you mean their example of their life, don't you? That's very good. Yes.
Yeah, and what else? Are they people with integrity, people who are honest, people who think about others?
I suggested Archbishop Tutu because I think he's a man who has courage.
To be someone we can trust. Live for others, yes. That's right. James says they live for others. Yeah, that's right. A good leader lives for others, right? Yeah, I agree with that. Anything else you'd like to say about what kind of leaders you like?
I think to be a good leader, you must to have two K spirit. It's smart and brave. If you smart but don't brave, it's no change on your circumstance. But if you brave but you don't smart, it seems like a gangster. you action without watch the rules.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that's a good comment. Yeah, so it's like a bird with two wings, you know. You need to have good character, but you also need to be able. And with those two wings you can fly.
I like the leader of typical leader of like motivates his people, and the leader that always sees the process, not the result. So it means like he knows
Very
what
good.
is happening right here.
Yeah, very good.
And Indira said to have firmness.
Yeah, I like that too. Not tough, but firm. Yeah, I agree with that. Anybody else? All right. Well, look, let me share just a few things about leadership that I thought about today. The first is to accept the challenges that life offers and believe that we will be given the inspiration, the courage, and the ability to do the right thing. So that's one thing. And Cheryl and I attended, I want to tell you a little example of this. Cheryl and I attended an Asia Pacific youth conference in Cambodia. And in the first 24 hours, a conflict broke out between the young Cambodians who were there and the young Vietnamese. The feelings between the two groups were so strong that the Vietnamese soon threatened to leave the conference. One of the conference organizers suggested that what was needed was a dialogue between the two groups. And the same person proposed that I might be the facilitator of that. I agreed about bringing them together. I thought that was a great idea, but I wasn't keen to be the man in the middle. You know, when you're the man in the middle, it's not very comfortable. In fact, I could think of 10 other people who could do it better than me. Anyway, I faced my fears and I decided to try. Bringing them together and getting them talking to each other rather than talking about each other was a very challenging experience. But gradually, they began to talk about the things that were dividing them, including the history of unending conflict between their two countries. After 3 conversations of this kind, the conference was about to end. Fortunately, they agreed they should continue the exchange between them so that they could learn more about how to work together. You know, that led to a 5-year dialogue with young Cambodians visiting Vietnam and staying in Vietnamese homes, and young Vietnamese doing the same in Cambodia. This hospitality led to a chance to talk about all the issues that had made their countries enemies. And today, that group of young people, Cambodian and Vietnamese, work together to take initiatives to change things in each other's countries. Now, the second thing I'd like to say about leadership is that it's important to know who we are. I mean, I know I'm Rob, but more than that, I'm Rob and I'm a member of a community and I'm a member of a country, and I feel responsible for my community and my country. I live in a country which, likes our democracy, our human rights, and there are lots of reasons why I'm happy to live where I live. At the same time, I have to say that the Indigenous people of Australia, you know what I mean by Indigenous, the original people of Australia, they experienced very severe injustice at the hands of my people, white society. At the beginning of our occupation, we said Australia was a vacant country and we claimed it for the British Crown. Apart from stealing a lot of land, which had been their home, we also killed and raped many of their people and took the children away from their families, a practice that continued until very recently. You know, Cheryl and I feel very lucky to have wonderful friends in the Indigenous community. And we've listened to them tell us painful stories from their past. And when we hear these things, we feel very ashamed. So I don't know about you, but when you feel like that, the important thing, I think, is to say sorry, to ask forgiveness. And so we did that with our Aboriginal friends. And we began to build a trust between them and us, and between their community and our community. And the other important thing in a situation like that is to listen to their truth and to learn from their wisdom. So we have tried to do that also. And we want the future of Australia to be different from our past in that way. We would like to build a real spirit of partnership so we can share something with the world. So my third point about leadership is We are all global citizens. All of us today are global citizens. We have rights and we have responsibilities. Melbourne is just coming out of our 4th COVID lockdown. You all know what lockdown is, I'm sure. Yeah, I think we've all experienced it. And you know, if there's one thing the pandemic has taught us, it is that we are all part of the same human family. And we need to care for our planet. We need to care about our environment in a better way. So my question to all of us today is, what can and what will we do to make the world a different and better place for everybody? That's my question. What can and will we do to make our world a better place for everybody? It's easy, isn't it, to expect somebody else to do it, not us. But if we want to see things change, we have to start thinking globally and acting locally. We might do it in different ways, but all of us can make a difference. I'm a songwriter. Did you know that? I'm a songwriter. I love music. And I think music is a great way to share things we feel, things we believe, things we hope for with others. We're going to listen to one of my songs a bit later in the program, and it's called Change Makers. And I think in that spirit, in the spirit of being a change maker, we can make the world a better place. Let's do it. Thank you. Terima kasih. That's all.
Terima kasih Pak Rob. Baik, tadi sudah dijelaskan oleh Pak Rob bagaimana beliau mengatasi konflik antara APYC di Kamboja dan Vietnam. Nah, mungkin teman-teman ada yang ingin di-share terkait pengalaman leadership teman-teman. Boleh kalau ada yang ingin bercerita.
Maybe me. I need to answer Pak Rob's question first. The question is, what can or will we do to make the world a better place for everybody? Currently, I just, I just apply a fellowship to US Embassy, and I put some case. I put like early marriage because that's one of the big problems in Indonesia. But for the world, I think the case is not early marriage is not a good idea for the world, because some country they have like a less population. It's not kind of like Indonesia. So to make the world better place, for me is don't use plastic. I mean, like if you can't use plastic, you just use less paper, because paper from just like use less, no, don't use too much paper bag, I mean. For the second is respect each other, respect where they're from, respect what they look like, or respect what their skin color, respect, yeah, respect when people talk. So the next thing is I think to always cool, because too many I don't want to say like too many stupid people, but too many like less attitude people that I found in my environment. I think like you school with your attitude first, like that. I think like, yeah, I think that those would make the world would be better. Thank you.
Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, thank you for your sharing. It's really appreciated.
Maybe a little bit for me, Mrs. and Mr. Wood. So, from my friend said before, Marco said that, wait, I'll see the question first. What we can, okay. So from me, for me, to make a better place for everyone is, first we have to start from ourselves. Like, we have to respect others, each other, like, and then as a leader we have to make a wise decision for the future. It's like, so I mean, like, the example or is already saying by my friend Marcus, like, making wise decision for this. I'll take an example for this nation. Like, a leader for this nation must to make a wise decision to make a better place, a better nation for his people. It's like, don't use plastic, don't throw like a baggage or anything, like
Rubbish, you mean?
Yeah, we have to making wise decision for the future. And then maybe as a leader we have to, when you make a wise decision, you have to motivate people to do this, to do the same thing.
Yes,
That's
right.
That's from my opinion. And then so
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I totally agree with you. Setting the example, that's what it's about. Yeah, thank you so much. Terima kasih. Who's next? Don't be shy. We love to hear from you.
maybe from Ari. Ari, before this webinar start, Ari said that he want to share something to us. So
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe I can do it first, Ari.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Raisa, and I want to share a little of my experience to all of you about my leadership, of course. First of all, I've never been chosen as a head of events, and let alone head of a group. Well, I was a head of the class in the junior high school and a treasurer once or twice at most. But my piece of leadership is learned through my family. I was the youngest of 3 siblings and the only girl in the family. You guys may see the advantage here. Ever since a child, both of my parents never forced their way on us. Of course, as parents, they only want the best for us, even though we may or may not get a bad thing or two. It makes me comfortable enough to have a healthy relationship with my family, where we can share about our day to each other. I'd like to think that the trust between our family is what makes the base of my leadership trait. I'm free to express myself in any good ways that I want because they know the reason behind it and what I try to achieve along the way. When my dad passed away a few years back, my mom made sure that it's still the same. I was still allowed to decide things on my own, especially for college application at that time. I think the realization of responsibilities and trust upon myself that my mother freely gave first myself in a good way to get my act together and act more mature. Each of the siblings in the household has their own matroness vibes, but I'm almost always appointed to do the heavy talk with my parents, no matter my involvement in that case. I think it's the biggest role I've ever given in the family. For example, my brothers often, if they want to convey something to my parents, it must be through me. I must the one who share with my parents, not them. I personally think it's due to straightforward attitude. Like I said, when when I'm faced to problems, I usually knows what I want and how to get it. The family knows me enough to know what I've done my research before I set my eyes on something. Therefore, it's easier for me to deliver my thoughts to my parents or just anyone in general. And challenges are, unfortunately, I don't really like to dwell on things. When I have my determination on something, I sometimes fail to read the room. It's a challenge for me to try acknowledge the other person's mood and condition first before I blurt out my ideas. Also, decide things fastly, but while it is good to be able to easily decide things, it's bad when I can see the long-term outcome. So the lesson learned that I get, what makes a good leader is the change they took to understand where they went wrong and willing to learn from it. And I'm now still learning to take into account of other needs and to really think things before I put my final thought. I guess that's only a little story or experience that I want to share to all of you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, very grateful. Very, very honest. Really appreciate it.
I think you made one very important point about a good leader is prepared to admit their mistakes and learn from them. So often leaders are not prepared to do this and they want to cover up, and then that makes life very complicated. Thank you very much, Raisa.
Yeah, saying sorry is a hard word, but life is harder if we don't learn to say sorry, I think. You know, so I found with my father, you know, when I could just ask his forgiveness for my feelings, my reactions, yeah, he often replied with his apology, you know, and it helps to build relationships. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Who was next?
Okay, I think, can I be the next?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, hello everyone. I want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ari, but my username in this Zoom is BMTAU. So I am an information system student at Tanri Abeng University in Jakarta. And during upcoming years, I will be a Bachelor of Computer. And I'm eager to challenge the role in computer industries in that future. And that means it requires the skills and the leadership. Right now, for the education, I have applied that in Taliabu University. And for that leadership, I've gathered that in BEM Taliabu University. For all of you who don't know what is BEM, BEM is like an executive board student union in the campus. And here we hear about what it takes to be a great leader, what it takes to make a work be a great or greater place. So a previous person from me tell about we need to reduce the plastic, we need to take a courage and blah, blah, blah. And that is a great move. Like Neil Armstrong says, they are the first astronaut that touched down the moon. That one small step for a man is one giant leap for mankind. And can we be like a Neil Armstrong? Yes, we can. Why is that? Because every decision that we take is very important and very predict to the next move that we have. So, leader, it takes courage. You need to make a decision. It needs challenge, because without the challenge, there's no decision that you can make. And what can you learn from being a leader? You can make the world be a better person. Why is that? Every decision that made in the history is gathered by a leader, by a person, or by a community, or even by a country. War, even trial is gathered by a commission. So, in the small concept, me, as well as the president of BEM Taliabu University, requires a group talk. We need to make a decision. How far can we be going in the next 5 years for this organization? What will be had if we don't take it necessary? What kind of the option? Like plastic. People often say in the long term before, we need to use plastic because it's cheap. But if we take a big step of the knowledge that we gather, plastic is cheap. Yes, that's right. But if we use it more and more, it will reduce and worse our work. Remember, we just have one planet to live. We don't even have the others. So that things come from our brain, and that thing in our brain comes from our education. And I see in here, all of you are students, right? And if you are a student, use your knowledge, use your competition, use your ability to learn, gather, and implement that education in your area, in your life expectation, first from your family, next to your organization, and be the role model in your country or the world, like Rob and Cheryl. And that's it from me. And what can I learn from being a leader is I can make everyone and every place that I attend be respectful and be like for everyone. That is from me, Mr. Moderator. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ari. It is excerpt from expert leadership. And maybe last one. I'm going to give a chance for one person again.
Maybe you should do it yourself.
No, I'm moderator.
Yeah. One people there.
That's right. The moderator is acceptable.
We'd love to hear from you. Aziz, yeah, Aziz.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hi.
Okay, I think I want to share something with you all about my experience. It's really something that maybe I can say really something that different I can experience that I have with for your information, for who don't know me, my name is Aziz, and right now my current position is head of student association, and I also take a position in a student senate. And previously, I was head of one of religion organization in the campus. But I want to share about one one event. I was a project officer for election party in our campus, you know, and it's so different from being other from being for leading for something some organization, you know, I mean, because it's so political, right? It's so political, it's so you know, I get a lot of pressure, and I have to be fair for both sides, and my decision will impact for a long term and for everyone in the campus. And then what make it so memorable for me, because it was my first time to lead that kind of project. I get a pressure from both sides, and I have to, you know, there's some say attack from both sides, because, you know, for the political things, and they're trying to control me, both sides, right? They're trying to control me. They're trying to make me want do something like they want for their party, of course, and that challenged me to hold my principle, to hold my idealism, to be professional. And what I do at that time, I know that the consequences is I will get, you know, my reputation would be get this job, or, you know, it will be, I don't know. Do you guys know like a buzzer? You know, a bunch of people that make a movement in the social media, because that's what happened. That what happened at the time. Some people make some movement in the social media to provoke the event project that also influence my personalities, my personal, and what I do at that time. So my action was, when I have to decide something, I have to consider everything. I have to consider everything. I should not focus on myself. I should not think about myself, but I have to think about everyone, and also, you know, the future of the campus and the fairness. I have to think about their rights, both sides, because you know, it's like I've got the challenge to be professional, like, and then yeah, that's what I do. And then for the solution when there is a problem, I always believe that every problem can be solved with the talk. So we make some a meeting to meet both sides, and we talk about what's the problem, and we're trying to solve the problem in a family way, I could say. Yeah. So what I learned is that when you're being a leader, then you should not think about yourself, and you have to understand that you should hold your principle and not let anyone control you with what they want, but you have to believe what you think that's right, and just do the thing that you believe that's right, no matter what, because at the end, it's your responsible. Any decision that you made, it's your own decision. It's your own responsible, right? So that's what I learned. I believe that you should believe on yourself, and you do what you think is right, and you take responsible on it. You should have to take responsibility on it. Yeah, I think that's all for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aziz.
Totally agree with you. Yeah, not easy to find the right thing, but often the right thing is in our own hearts, and that's, as you say, you know, doing the thing that you believe is going to be best, you know, is what matters. Yeah. So thanks. Really appreciate the sharing.
Thank you.
Somebody wants to vote for you as president now.
Amin. Thank you. I think that's last one. It's enough for sharing. Let's move to session with James and Natalia. As a proverb said, Natalia first, ladies first. Yes.
Thank you, Fadil, for the experience. I'm trying to have a look at the, thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm trying to look at the live on YouTube, and I realize we're recording for YouTube. Today, I'd like to share my experience and what it means to be a leader with you. And I want you to imagine the boat with two wings that Rob was talking about before. And I wanted you to imagine one wing is being a dreamer, but the other wing is being a doer. So to me, a leader, and we know that leader is also a person who continually learns. So a learner, a student, leader is a dreamer, but also a doer. So it's a combination of these two wings, really. To me, it's how to be an idealist, but also a realist at one at the same time. So it's how to have a vision, but also have the action. It's having the dreams, being a dreamer, but also at the same time being in touch with the reality. I wanted you to imagine the word dreamer and doer in a circle. So there is an arrow from the dreamer to the doer, it's an arrow, and then from the doer to the dreamer, it's another arrow. So it's a constant circle that when you're dreaming, you're doing it, and then as you're doing it, you continue to dream. What else? What's next? And in my experience as a dreamer, to become a doer, I much realized that I could not do things on my own. I need other people. I'm not perfect, so I have to have people in my team who could help me, and at the same time I also can help them. So it's bringing the people with me to do the dreams together. So it's the bringing of the people that's quite often a challenge for me, because there's this saying, if you wanted to do it fast, you do it alone. But if you want it to go far, you do it together with people. So there's only so much you can do by yourself, but with a team of people, you can go further. And so I remember a team of my friends, 5 women, were doing a concert, a charity concert for a choir who comes from Halmahera to Melbourne. And I needed some people who can help running this concert in a very short time, hitting the ground running. And I thought, who are my friends around me that can just get this job and run with it? And I just found that there are 5 of my friends. There happen to be women, but amazingly, these women, they're very multitasking. They get the dreaming and the doing at the same time. And so with them, we work together to make the concert. I cannot really have done it by myself, even with few people, but in a team, it was doable. The next relationship and path from the doer to dreamer that I wanted you to imagine is the challenge to be connected with the people all the time. In my experience, if you're continuing doing things, but you're so caught up in the doing, it's often hard to pull yourself and allow the dreaming to happen. And so I find that often when you're becoming a leader, or you're given a position to lead, often your seniority or your position actually protects you or silos you from knowing what's going on. So this is the important, in my experience, to be with a team of people who I kept on communications all the time to really know what's going on. I actually learned this from my team leader at work. He's a very high up leader in my work, but he took the time to come and talk to all the team members and find out what's going on, how are you going with that project, tell me your challenges. And I found that the coming from that positions of seniority to the level of people whom he led, was really helpful for him to have a better vision on what's next, what's coming. So the doer to the dreamer, and then after that you dream another dream and you be doer again. So it's always a constant kind of circle that continues to happen. So this balancing of these 2 acts, dreaming and doing, I found naturally, to me, comes very easy at same time, at one sense, because I'm a woman, right? And as a woman, we're used to multitasking, doing the same thing all together. Well, in my experience, we often use our head and heart at the same time. Like you use your skills, but you also use your intuition and gut feeling. And so, in one sense, balancing these 2 acts as women is easy, but at the same time, it's also hard, because especially when things do not go according to plan, we women, I feel, beat ourselves very often. We kept thinking that, oh, we should have done better, and just punishing ourselves and feeling really hopeless. And so I guess the challenge there is to be courageous, still to admit that, okay, things often don't go as planned, but what else? What's the next dreaming that I can do? And then what's the next doing that I can do? And that continuous circle is I think, our goal. And so that's my sharing today. I hope we can share yours. I'm looking forward to hearing your stories too. Thank you.
Thanks, Natalia, for sharing. I think I would jumped straight in there, and you know, it might be easy for women to do multitasking, but definitely for guys, it's not easy. So traveling and talking at the same time, I'm just doing my best here to try and stay focused. And yeah, we've had some really, you know, great talks and shares on leadership, and there's many different aspects to it, and I'm really grateful to, you know, hear some of the stories that have, you know, that are inspiring. And just to keep it brief for me, you know, leadership is not, it's not about the title. It's really a choice you make every day. It's a choice to be a leader. It's choosing to take responsibility. It's choosing to look out for others. And it's choosing to own it. Choosing to be the cause in the matter. Choosing to be that example. And so for me, you know, I'm currently an IT manager at work. And so while I've got the title, I can, you know, get to be the, you know, the boss. But being a boss doesn't necessarily make me a leader. And, you know, I want to be a better leader, and cherish that responsibility. You know, so for example, that looks like asking the question, well, how can I be more responsible for how my team is going? You know, earlier this week, we had an issue with an IT system that we're meant to roll out, and one of my team members didn't run the meeting as well as I'd hoped. And you know, if I could just be the cool boss and say, hey, you've done a bad job, you know, you need to do better. But as a leader, no, it's like taking ownership of that, the whole team, and saying, well, actually, what could I have done better to help him? You know, maybe I could have checked his presentation before he did the presentation, and maybe I could have given him some training. And actually, you know, now that it's happened, well, what can I do to stop it from happening next time? So again, here it's another example of taking that responsibility. And I think the bigger the leader you are, you know, the more responsibility you're willing to take on. And that starts with just yourself or myself. You know, how can I be responsible to be that good person, to look after myself today? And, you know, even for me, that's still a struggle every day. I have to make that choice. And then I find as we learn to be that leader for ourselves, then we can expand our influence and expand our scope. And then we're looking at, well, what about my own family or group of friends? How can I look out for them? And then that might expand further. You know, how about I look out for my whole company? You know, when something's going wrong, what can I do about it to, you know, build the culture in my company or my class, or my university? And you know, eventually one day, you know, how can I be a leader of community or even nation? And I think that's the kind of journey that we're on. And so I think, you know, in short, you know, how can I be a better leader in the world? That sounds so big. Well, let's start simply with the relationships around you. Start with those relationships that we've been sharing about today. How can I be a leader in those relationships? Thank you.
Thank you, James and Natalie. Anyway, happy vocation, James. So let's show performed by TEL student Fajri. She's wanna sing a song. Superheroes. Who is Fajri?
Okay, sorry. Today I'm gonna sing "You Raise Me Up" from Josh Groban. And yeah, I'm the student from management. I'm Muhammad Fajri Ramadan. Hope you like it. And oh, my soul so weary. When troubles come, my heart burden me. Then I'm still and waiting in the silence until you come and say Lord with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountain. You raise me up to walk the stormy seas. I am strong and I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. I am down and oh my soul so weary. When troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still waiting in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk the stormy seas. I am strong and I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Fajri. Your voice is like sounds from heaven.
Amin.
Okay. All right. We are gonna listening a song from Pak Rob.
Fadil, so the song will be played by the technical host.
Okay.
What does it mean to be someone of destiny? What will it take to find a care for all mankind? How do we start to learn for others needs to burn? And can anyone out there show?
What happened?
Sorry. Ari, can you repeat again? Is it possible to display the lyric as well?
Ari?
Okay, she's still working.
Yeah.
Okay. Song from Pak Rob and display the lyric as well.
Mister, can you show the lyric? Because my laptop, I just can't share the sound.
Okay. Because when I share the lyric, the song is automatically stopped.
Okay. Perhaps we can't use that. Okay.
What does it mean to be someone of destiny? What will it take to find a care for all mankind? How do we start to learn for others needs to burn? And can anyone out there show our world the way to go? Just master, change maker, caretaker, troubleshooter, free
Glory.
That was before going further for the next session. Why not we give a few words to the writer of the song, because we can see the lyric.
Sorry, sir.
Give time for Pak Rob to say something with that song.
When you say something about the song. No, he's asking if you want to say something. You need to.
I think the song spoke for itself, but it really it's what we've heard from different people this morning. You know, it's about the choice we make in each of our hearts. You know, to do the right thing, to do the thing which is difficult or risky or whatever, and to allow ourselves, give ourselves permission to be those kind of change makers that the world needs at the moment. And each of us here today can make that choice and can become a change maker in our own way, in our own situation. And that's why I wrote the song, because I felt, you know, I'd like lots and lots more people around the world to think of themselves as change makers. So that's for the future. That's my hope for the future. Thank you.
Oke, thank you. Jadi lagu.
Thank you, Pak Rob.
You are muted.
Thank you, Pak Rob.
Oke, jadi lagu Pak Rob ini menceritakan bagaimana kita merubah dunia bersama teman-teman di seluruh dunia, tidak peduli background teman-teman, entah dari negara mana, dari agama apapun. Yang penting kita bersama-sama menciptakan dunia yang lebih baik. Let's move to question and answer session. I'm gonna open for 1 or 2 question. Any question? Okay, you can speak up or you write down on the chat column.
Kiki.
Speak up aja sih.
Ya, Kiki.
Bohong.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, fine.
No, you couldn't open his mic.
Yes, Fadil, you can see the questions.
Okay, Pak Rob from Kiki. Previously, we learned that it needs courage to be a great leader, but we see in very world right now, there's too many leaders that can't even make a call. How far can you see that going? That's the question.
What does he mean by a thought call?
What does a thought call mean? Does he mean a tough call?
Maybe.
What it's mean to call, Kiki? Ini kali, sulit berhubungan atau gimana?
While he's clarifying what thought call is, can I just say something about leadership? Sometimes, particularly here in Australia, the media seems to focus on things that go wrong, the mistakes that leaders sometimes make, the difficulties there are. And I think if you really look, there are often very positive things happening. Some leaders are making very good decisions. And I find it more challenging. I have to think more to pass on the good news. It's so easy to pass on the news that is not good. And the news about, oh, our Prime Minister has done this again. Or our Deputy Prime Minister has done this, or my Premier has done this, and to pick up on the critical things. But I need to stop myself, because the Prime Minister is a good man. He makes mistakes, yes, and he at the moment he's making quite a few, but he is basically, he's a good man, and our Premier is a good man. But we went into a very long lockdown because of some mistakes, but we all make mistakes, and I think we need to be careful with our media, particularly in Australia, which can pick up on leaders' mistakes and not always appreciate the good things they do.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it's enough for question and answer session. We're going to closing statement from Pak Umam. Please, Pak Umam.
Fadil, thank you. I think we replace the closing remark will be led by our Professor Dr. Anwar Sadiq, MPM. So let's welcome our professor to give a closing remark for this webinar.
Please welcome Professor Dr. Muhammad Sadiq, MPM.
Yeah, thank you, moderator. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Rob. Yeah, Mr. Charlie, Natalie, and James, Ruben. So very nice to meet you again here. Thank you. We are really appreciated for your participation in our seminar for today. I'm here not along that seminar. I just joined the short time, but I catch up some point in that. Speaking of leadership, yeah, when I was studying at Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, my professor, Kosis and Posner, read a lot of book in leadership. So one thing I always remember, yeah, what let's start from Mr. Carnegie and Mr. Mellon. Carnegie is the industrialist of United States of United America. Carnegie, Andre Carnegie, that's the industrialist, and Buell University, together with his pen with Mellon. Mellon is a person also as a banker. Together, Buell University, what you call Carnegie Mellon. So they say, I leave my heart at work. Yeah, they are really, really as a worker person. And from Kosis and Posner, when I joined their classes, they say, leader is the way of life. Is how you doing your every single day, started from at your home, you interact with your children, your family, and you see what you are doing in that time, and how you interact with your neighborhood, how you interact with the community, because leaders without communication is nothing. So leaders is communicate between who choose to be a lead or who choose to be a follower. Because the communication between as a leader and follower, there's a leadership in there. Yeah, because a leader like a journey from the bad situation to the good situation. It's so different than management. So lead is, let me say, how to bring out the best of the people. How to bring out the best of the people. So that's why sometimes the citizens do not know their skill, but you as a leader, you knowing the capability of the single person of your subordinate. So that's why I believe like my country, not like my country Indonesia, is what we face problem right now in our developing country is how to choose a good leader. Yeah, because in, let me say, in executive or in legislative or in judicative government official or legislator, for instance, we sorry, we have problem is how to find a good leader. Yeah, actually there is a lot of good people, a good leader in the society, but the system cannot find that system, cannot find that a good leader. The system cannot, maybe do not have ability to, or let me say, to adopt it, that people as a good person and as a good leader. So that's why what we are talking for today, I'm really appreciated, moderator. I really appreciate it for our student of Tanri Abeng University. This is good for, I told you, if you are going to be success in your future is how to be a good leader, starting from yourself. So again, thank you so much, yeah, Professor from Australia, and my student and my college, Mr. Umam. I really appreciate it. You're doing a good job. So thank you so much. Yeah, see you again. And then God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. And you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Bapak Professor.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Fadil, before we end this session, let everyone open your camera and show your two thumb and big smile to our speaker. Okay, can you open your camera, please?
Kameranya buka, teman-teman.
Okay. Okay, everyone.
Wonderful.
Sorry.
It's great to see everybody.
Oke. Udah belum, Sir?
Thank you.
Okay. I can see your picture. Okay. Okay. Please show again your two thumb and your friendly smile to our guest speaker, Pak Rob, Ibu Cheryl, by Bro James, and Mbak Natalia for making the time available to share with us for this webinar. So Pak Rob, this is the way how we appreciate for your time. So I do believe that the student and the participant learn a lot from you. They enjoy your performance and listening your singing as well. So my role here only working behind this group. So my role is supporting them and bridging them how to see the dream, like what Mbak Natalia mentioned.
All right.
To make it balance between dreamer and doer. So I also enjoy being a mentor for them for English Club. My role, like the tagline of Nokia mobile cell phone, connecting people.
All right.
Connect the student with you. So I do believe that they have potential future to be a great leaders. So I do hope in the next future they are growing up and practicing their leadership theories in practice. Thank you so much again for all the participants who are able to manage joining this webinar from the beginning until the end of the session, especially for the organizer, Student Union of Tanda Abang University, and Islamic Youth Development.
Thank you. Thank you.
Others.
Right.
We'll
Alright.
see you again in the next event. Thank you.
Thank you for the closing statement, Mr. Umam. Again, I'd like to thanks to our speakers. You explain with the structure and aesthetically. I'm got some points. I'm gonna take words. I'm gonna take the excerpt from the speaker. Leader is learner. Learner is leader from Natalie 2021. And leader is different from the boss, from Reski, and also leadership is action, not the position, is from Kak Yofrina. And also I'm going to give words also. Yeah, I'm gonna say knowledge and skill is not instinctive skill. It's not edge on your genes, but also leadership skill. But it's will get with study, perseverance, and persistence. Thank you for our speaker, and thank you for audience. We hope this event will beneficial for you, and it has been my pleasure to lead this discussion. I wish you all pleasant day, and next and nice to meet you, and happy to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
You did a great job.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Well done.
Enjoy your lunch.
Yes, you too. You
Sorry
too.
for delaying.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for breaking the rules.
No, that's all right. We enjoyed your company. Thank you so much, and we hope to meet you in person someday.
I like it, the song from Imagine, John Lennon,
Oh.
Imagine. I
Yeah.
like it, that one. I Have Nothing from Whitney Houston. I Have Nothing. That's good also. And My Way from Frank Sinatra. My Way. That's good.
All right. We hope to meet you again. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All the very best.
Bye everyone. Thank you.
Thank
Terima
you.
kasih.
So much.
Take
Yeah.
care.
Sampai jumpa.
Safe
Yeah,
driving,
sampai jumpa.
James.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you, Professor. Thank you.
And Nat, have a great day.
Yeah.
Thank you. You too.
You look very happy with your husband and wife. Yeah. Yeah.
We are. We have to be. We're in lockdown, so you know we can really enjoy.
Most of the
that's-
time. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Yeah, that's good.
This is the
Yeah.
secret. Looking younger, always happy.
Okay. Thank you very much indeed.
So, are you in what part of Australia? Are you from?
In Melbourne.
In Melbourne.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just coming out of lockdown for the 4th time.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Hope you enjoy that lockdown.
Thank you. Okay.
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 Thank you, Mr.
Bye-bye.
Imam.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. I can't find the darn thing. Bye.
This.